হেলথ মিনিস্ট্রি থেকে আরও বলা হচ্ছে বুঝলাম আপনাদের দাম ওষুধের দাম কম বাট আরও কমাতে হবে, আপনারা মানুষকে চুষে খাচ্ছেন, আপনাদের দাম আরও কমাতে হবে। প্লিজ রেকগনাইজ যে আমাদের ওষুধের দাম দুনিয়ার মধ্যে সবচেয়ে কম। সো প্লিজ ডোন্ট কল আস রক্তচোষা অর সামথিং ফ্রম দ্য গভর্নমেন্ট। আমাদেরকে বলা হয় আপনারা ক্রিমিনাল ব্যবসা করেন, বিকজ apparently our business model is bribe doctors and sell your medicines. Pharmaceuticals is not like other products. It takes, let's say I get an idea now, etar implementation korte, if I'm really lucky, it will take 3 years, but normally it will take 5 to 6 years before I can implement anything. So it's not like, for example, when we go to trade shows, EPB থেকে জিজ্ঞেস করেন আমাদেরকে আপনারা কত অর্ডার পেলেন, কত $1 million অর্ডার পেলেন। That's a wrong question to pharmaceuticals. Pharmaceuticals cannot answer like that because it goes through a huge process. So আমার ওই প্রথমেই হচ্ছে যে I don't know. Kintu by that 5 to 7 years, the market changes. So this happens. So pharmaceuticals is different. But I will tell you why we should focus on pharmaceuticals. It's not necessarily the dollar value at this stage. And in terms of percentage, garments will remain a very large percentage of our exports simply because it's very large now. So if everything else, Sunny's business is growing by 100% and garments grows by 1%, garments as a proportion of total exports will be high. So there's এটা নিয়ে কান্নাকাটি করার কিছু নাই. So yeah, so the question is if you want to diversify and for what reason. So আমি বলবো ওষুধ শিল্পের diversificationের সবচেয়ে বড় কারণ করা উচিত যে this is one place where we can do high value addition and we can provide opportunities to retain talent in Bangladesh. So particularly, pharmaceuticals is a place where university graduates, and not just university graduates, the best of the university graduates can have a career opportunity within Bangladesh. So the brain drain that you're seeing, and for example, at Renata, we don't lose people to other companies. We lose people to universities throughout the world because they don't feel they're being challenged enough. So pharmaceuticals is one place যেখানে যারা সায়েন্স পড়েছে তাদের জন্য there is an opportunity and also an opportunity for the diaspora. যারা সায়েন্স পড়ে they are working in some pharmaceutical company or chemical company, they can come back. So that is the biggest reason why we should have a focus on pharmaceuticals as opposed to looking at the dollar value, because if you ask me what is Bangladesh's pharmaceutical export going to be in 5 years' time, I can't tell you what Renata's exports are going to be in 2 years' time. So এই জায়গাতে আমি ফোকাস করছি না, but most of my energy is actually going towards exports regardless of it's a small percentage of our sales, because it creates a value addition and it creates certain opportunities for Bangladesh. For example, when I focus on the US market, the fact that I sell in the US market gives me credibility throughout the world. Okay, this is, you see, and we have to recognize made in Bangladesh is not a huge selling point. So but pharmaceutical ekta shubida hocche, once you're exporting to the US, I don't have to talk about Bangladesh. I'll say, this is the product I sell in the US. Do you want it? And you sell it to Africa. So nobody is asking what is your product quality, etc., or so on. So এটা একটা সুবিধা আছে. So when you target at the highest level say US, Europe, the rest of the world opens up to you. তখন যে একটা ইফেক্ট আসে না যে হঠাৎ করে এক্সপোর্ট লাভ দিল, আমি চিন্তাও করিনি, হঠাৎ বিভিন্ন জায়গা থেকে এক্সপোর্টটা লাভ দিল। And I'm seeing some of it now at Renata, because আমাদের এতগুলো দেশে, especially US and Europe, Australia, Canada, এগুলোতে registrations এত হচ্ছে, we're getting a lot of inquiries from all around the world, you know, because they're not looking at Bangladesh, whether Bangladesh or cost competitiveness, or they're looking at these people have products. So this is, the point is, I would say, pharmaceutical জোর দিবেন for development of our youth. So this is very, very important, because otherwise this youth, they're going to leave. Most of the time, আপনি যদি ইউনিভার্সিটিতে জিজ্ঞেস করেন যে what is your aspiration, ওর বলবে আমি দেশ ছেড়ে চলে যেতে চাই। সো এইখানে this is one opportunity. এখন এটার জন্য কি করতে হবে? যেটা করতে হবে, please recognize entrepreneurs. The pharmaceutical industry was built by entrepreneurs. So all you have to do really is not get in the way. So, and recognize that this industry, alpo ekটু government patronage, has really grown. Kintu, unfortunately, what we have seen towards the end of Awami League and throughout the entire duration of this government, the attitude towards the pharmaceutical industry has been outright hostile. I'll tell you. একে আমাদেরকে বলা হয় we're criminals. From the government, আমাদেরকে বলা হয় আপনারা ক্রিমিনাল ব্যবসা করেন, because apparently our business model is bribe doctors and sell your medicines. So that's the whole focus. So যখন পুরো একটা ইন্ডাস্ট্রিকে you're categorizing as criminal, nothing's really going to happen. Second, it is the stated policy of the Ministry of Health যে ফার্মাসিউটিক্যালে আপনারা কোনো বিনিয়োগ করার দরকার নেই। It's the stated policy of the health advisor. She has said আপনারা ইনভেস্ট করবেন না, ওষুধের দাম কমান। হেলথ মিনিস্ট্রি থেকে আরও বলা হচ্ছে বুঝলাম আপনাদের দাম, ওষুধের দাম কম, বাট আরও কমাতে হবে। আপনারা মানুষকে চুষে খাচ্ছেন, আপনাদের দাম আরও কমাতে হবে। যখন আমি বলছি যে হিস্টোরিক্যালি our net margins have been 15%, এখন নেমে গেছে 5%-এ, and এটাতে 5%-এ ব্যবসা চালানো, especially for pharmaceuticals, which has to be very forward looking, is not sufficient. কোনো কথা শোনা হয়নি। So I am just hoping the next 2 months-এ the government doesn't do any further damage to the industry. So this is one. So we need to go back to the type of policies যেখানে entrepreneurs দেখে একটু respect দিবে. When you say you're making far too much money, you're not taking into account যে আমি যেটা বললাম যে youthকে রাখার জন্য I have to do R&D. R&D requires a lot of money, and the returns are not immediate. If Bangladesh is to make any sort of dent in the world market in pharmaceuticals, we have to focus on R&D. And if we don't, there's no point in talking about the trillions of dollars of opportunity that are out there. If you cannot show products that are world class, you cannot export. That is why I'm saying যে এই অ্যানালিসিসটা যেটা বললাম। আরেকটা জিনিস যেটা হচ্ছে, because pharmaceuticals it takes so much time to get things done, one of the growth strategies যেটা world pharmaceutical companies নেয় is they acquire other companies, because they have tons of licenses. So if you buy a company, you get access to say 50 products. So Indiaতে early 2000 they recognized, ওদের একটা deputy governor of the Reserve Bank of India, Shamula Gopinath I think, And she recognized that she said something very profound. She said, আমরা ইন্ডিয়াতে এতদিন ভাবতাম যে ডলার পেতে হলে আমাদের ডলার সব আটকে ধরতে হবে, যা পাবো সেটাকে আগড়ে ধরতে হবে। But she said, ডলার পেতে হলে ডলারকে বাইরে যেতে দিতে হবে। So it means যখন when we say we need to acquire companies, or we say যে Sunny's সাথে Africa, I will do a joint venture and we will put a field force there, আমাকে টাকা বাইরে যেতে দিতে হবে। So there are two things. So I will just conclude on these specifics আপনি যখন বলছেন, there are two things. First of all, please recognize যে আমাদের ওষুধের দাম দুনিয়ার মধ্যে সবচেয়ে কম। So please don't call us রক্তচোষা or something. When we say we need to enhance prices because costs have gone up, we're not lying. So recognize that. We need that money to invest in the future. So R&D's জন্য এটা লাগবে। Renata alone, 2 বছর আগে spent 100 crores in R&D. This year, we spent 165 crores. And this has to go up. This has to go up. So এইটার জন্য I need to make about 15% net margin, which is not a lot. And if you think 15% is a lot, don't ask foreigners to come in. So 15% net margin is, I think, is reasonable. So এতটুকুই চাচ্ছি, এর চেয়ে বেশি আমরা চাচ্ছি না। আরেকটা হচ্ছে আপনার foreign exchange policyটা you have to liberalize. I have found Renata has 2 subsidiaries, Renata Ireland, Renata UK. The advantage that gives is enormous. মানে আমি কিছুক্ষণ পর পর আমার মেসেজ আসে, সিটি ব্যাংকে অ্যাকাউন্ট আছে আমার, I just press and pay through this as opposed to running to Bangladesh Bank and getting permission. This is brilliant. All my royalty licensing income comes into Renata Ireland, and I find one of the things, it's not the export of products, it's the creation of knowledge. So we get, আমাদের export I would say 1/3 comes to us from licensing fees and products developed by young Bangladeshis.